On Barry Charles' Footy show tonight, Lachlan Galvin, Mahoney dropped, Sexton in. Can the Bulldogs win the premiership? Is Ciraldo a genius, or is he just cost Bulldogs fans a premiership tilt? We will find out very shortly this weekend. But yes, we're going to talk about the Warriors. The Warriors fans going berserk. They're going to ask Katy Perry for a firework as they look to distract the Panthers at the team hotel. Also, is Josh Papali'i got a tattoo? Is Josh Papali'i have they put spray paint on his ankle to make it look like he's got an injury? Or is it actually legitimate? All the working around the game here. Obviously, Kevy Walters is under pressure. Who is going to be his team as more players defect to the Pacific Island nations? It's all on, and obviously we're going to preview all 4 games of the greatest game of all, Rugby League. Let's get to it right here, right now on Barry Charles Footy Show. Welcome back, guys and gals, to the channel. Yes, indeed, it's all happening here as Lachlan Galvin. Is he the worst buy of the season? That is the talking point right here, right now. Is he the worst buy? Absolutely. If you saw his kicking game last week, it was horrendous. Even schoolboys could do better than him. It was disappointing, very disappointing. No doubt he's got the talent, but is he going to be Luke Brooks 2.0, or can they turn him around? Because he really is struggling at the moment. And don't forget, before he came, they were top of the table. Now, yes, you could argue they weren't playing great footy, but they're not playing great footy now. And when they're still on top of the table, their defense has gone to the pack. Really, they need to find their form that they did when they played Penrith the last time when they only just lost. But they really need to find some steel in their defense. And dropping Mahoney is not going to be the answer, whether he is the answer to win. But obviously you get deflated. When you've played the whole season, you played the last 3 seasons, you've been steady hook, and then you get dropped. You're not happy. And then you're on the bench and you only basically come on for an injury over the last 20 minutes of the game. You're obviously going to not be the happiest camper. And now you're dropping him and putting Sexton in there. It just seems like absolute madness to me. But it's good for us Warriors fans, because when we play Bulldogs round 2, let's get it on. That's what Warriors fans will be hoping for. But yes, to me, signing 2031 of Ciraldo and Phil Gould could lead to disaster. Last time this happened, Ivan Cleary left the club when similar things happened. Will Ciraldo do the same thing? We will see, especially if they don't win a premiership. They're expected to win a premiership, folks, in the next few years. They have to do it. But are they missing the key ingredient at number 7? That is the question mark for the Bulldogs. And Galvin is not a number 7. He's a 6. But yes, going back to the Warriors. Yes, the Wars. Well, social media runs riot again. Was it an absolute joke, or are they actually serious about putting the fireworks, getting the drums beating, getting Katy Perry to come over and sing Firework as they try to put the Panthers off? It's great theatre. It's great rugby league. It's old school. It's what we're talking about. Everyone does it. It's all part of getting some gamemanship, getting one up on the players. You come into hostile territory in New Zealand. Panthers fans, get over it. Stop being crybabies and complaining to the NRL. It's rugby league, and it's rugby league at its greatest. Gonna be very interesting how that goes. Josh Papali'i, well, to me, it just looks like a tattoo to me. Could it be some spray paint on there? It's just all ducks and drakes. Josh Papali'i will be playing the game, and he'll be ready to rock and roll come Sunday. No doubt in my mind. Now, Kevy Walters. Yes, Kevy, our mate Kevy. What's doing here? Well, he is in big trouble. He's struggling to find players to play for him as players continue to deflect. There's going to be no Robert Toya, no Katoa, no Valentine Holmes injured. Hammer was going to deflect. Latrell Mitchell was pulled out. Katoni Staggs, they talk about, but will he go to another nation as well? Say he's gone as well. And then you're starting to scrape the barrels. You got Shibasaki. You've got Bradman Best. Tommy Turbo. You're really starting to get thin after that. There is other players. When they're at their best, Billy Smith at his best potentially could be a horse player you could look at. But yeah, to me, yeah, they really are struggling to pick a squad that's going to be good enough to actually win against England. And what do you do with the Cleary Moses thing? Do you put them both together? You got Munster as well. You got Tommy Dearden. I don't think you can take all four. You could take three. I don't think you can take all four. So someone's going to miss out there. I hear it's going to be Tommy Dearden. So it's going to be very much of what they're going to do there. Because you could argue Moses can, well, he can play six as well, but Dylan can play hooker at a pinch. Can Moses play hooker? I don't know. So a lot of question marks, and you obviously got Harry Grant will be the number 9, so that's pretty simple there. And then fullback, that's probably the biggest dilemma for Kiwi, because they're all saying yes, bring back Tedesco. Oh yes, Dylan Edwards is the man. Reece Walsh is on fire at the moment. If the Broncos win the premiership, Reece Walsh will be on the plane. I can guarantee it, because he will be the best on ground grand final day. He's absolutely on fire. If he turns up, look out. Obviously got Payne Haas going, so the forward pack's going to be a little bit different. Who's going to go where there for the forward pack? So there is big question marks over Kiwi getting a strong enough team to beat England. It's going to be interesting how that all plays out going forward, but we will find out in the finals football. But yes, interesting times ahead. Let's get it to the preview. Yes, the big game here. Friday night, Storm Bulldogs. 2 teams hopelessly out of form. Absolutely. But in Harry Grant we trust. Yes, the return of Harry Grant. Will he get it done? Jack Howarth, I believe, will just go straight into the centres. There's no way Joey Chan's going to be playing centre. I'll be stunned if that's the case. They're saying move Munster to 6 to fullback. I don't think that would be wise. Peasant though for 7 potentially for Tyron Wishart. I think they should be the swap there, but I doubt that's going to happen the way it's been. But I think Jack Howarth comes into the team for sure. So no Peps, no NAS. I don't think that's a big loss, to be honest. And no Jerome Hughes. Can the Storm get it done? Well, it's the biggest test they've had in the finals for a long time with all the injuries. They don't normally have this many injuries. Normally they have 1, but not when you got your main fullback and halfback out, and would have been your main prop a few years ago. Not necessarily this year. But pressure is on big time for Papali'i and big time Ciraldo. Ciraldo can absolutely put a clinic through that. If he can get the defence right, look out, the Bulldogs can win this game. This is a game, I think it's a toss of the coin. Storm could easily just blow them away and win. But without those players, it makes it much more even a field. It's going to be very interesting. Can Galvin turn up and do what he does best and delivers a bit of individual brilliance to get them home? What a story that would be. But yeah, the forward pack to me is where the Storm get it done against the Bulldogs. The forward pack delivers, Storm win. That's the thing for the Bulldogs. If they forward pack can match them, then it's game on for the Hills. But I believe the Storm will get home in that one. Warriors, Panthers. No Kenny, no Warriors. We're resting him. They're resting him, folks. He could have played this week. They think they're going to walk all over the Warriors. Well, I got a fact for you. Look out, baby. Wade Egan's back. Jackson Ford is back. He will strengthen up this middle of the park that they struggled with. He's the Mitch Barnett. He has to be the Mitch Barnett because there is no one else. He's going to have to deliver that. Kurt Capewell to centre could be costly or it could be brilliant. We will find out. With the pace out wide, they'll attack him all day. Question marks with DWC obviously on the wing. That is the biggest concern, and that was the biggest concern. The Panthers ran riot last year in the same, well, not the same thing, but not last year, 2023, just absolutely collapsing, smashed them by just carving up DWC. That is my worry for the Warriors. If they lose by a big score, it's because they're carving up that edge. If they do, then look out. But the Warriors, it's a bit. I think Harris Tavita's got to go up a level. He's played consistent, but he hasn't done the X Factor things. You've got CHT. I mean not CHT. Seeing Charles Nickel, Clockstad. He is absolutely consistent. You got Roger that's consistent. You got Tanner Boyd that's fairly consistent. But they need the X factor, and the X factor's got to come from someone. It's got to be CHD. It's got to be Chanel Harris. He's got to come up with some big plays. He's absolutely got to come up with a bit of the razzle dazzle that the Warriors have been missing since Sean Johnson. Obviously, they need a bit of razzle dazzle. You need the razzle dazzle to win the premiership, and that's been hurting them last month. If they can find it, can Timani Martin do that off the bench? I don't know if he's a real razzle dazzle type player, but they need someone to do it. Lecker is obviously that X factor. They've got one X factor, but they need X factor in the spine, and that's the one thing that the Warriors have been missing. Luke Metcalf being out there is what they've been missing, and they need someone to stand up if they're going to win. There's no Kenny, so there's an opportunity for the Warriors here. Jay Fisher-Harris wants a big game against his old club. Can he get it done? We will see. Panthers should win, but don't be surprised if the Warriors pull off the upset of the year. Sharks versus the Roosters on Saturday Night Football. Hines gets out of his hip drop, which I don't think was a hip drop, to be honest, versus Sam Walker. Whoever plays the best, I think, that wins the game. They're both talented players, absolutely no doubt about it. So it's the youth of the Roosters versus a B-grade team of the Sharks. That's what they've been called. They're a B-grade side. But this is where it is. Fanua Blake needs to be one of the best on field. Can any of the other forwards go with him? Can a Rudolph? Can those type of players? Neokora's back, so they need someone to go with Fanua Blake. It can't be a one-man band. White, on the other hand, you got White, you got Lenu, you got Lindsay Collins, you got quite a few. You got Tedesco experience. This is where it is. Sharkies know how to flop. Roosters, though. Really, it's Hines or Sam Walker. Whoever delivers, they win. Simple as that. Hines plays brilliant, they'll win. Sam Walker does the same, they'll win. Everyone's saying the Roosters. You got Marky, you got all that stuff. You got Robert Toyer. Yes, you could argue they probably should win, but the Sharks, at some point, have to deliver in the finals. And Fitzgibbon's done it twice. This is the third time. He needs to get them firing. It's a big game. Anything can happen. Now, last game on Sunday, I think it's the game of the round. Raiders versus the Broncos. It's a big game. Does Papali'i play? Does Walsh play? They're both playing. Don't get it. There's all smoke and mirrors. Shibazaki back, is that the right choice? Did resting all those players, was it the right idea for Ricky Stewart? We're going to find out if it was a big mistake or the greatest thing. But we will see. Will Ethan Strange, Kyle Weeks continue the form they've been in? Reece Walsh against Kyle Weeks. What a scintillating thing that is going to be. Absolutely no Reynolds, no problem. We can still get it done. They're actually playing better football. So again, I think this is a battle with the fullbacks for mine for this one. Walsh versus Weeks. Whoever delivers the best there will probably win the game. It's going to be a big game. The query for the Broncos is defensively, can they get it done? If they can get the defense tight, they can certainly win the game. But if it's an absolute score front, I expect the Raiders to get it home. It's going to be one of those interesting games. It's going to be interesting to see if the Raiders can handle the pressure of finals football. It's going to be one big game. Can Ben Hunt have the greatest game of time and get revenge and look to win a premiership with the Broncos? I nearly think this is the game that wins the premiership. Whoever wins out of Raiders and Broncos could nearly be the team to win the comp, in my opinion. I think they look the freshest squads. I know there's injuries, but they've had to cover Billy Walters and Ben Hunt, so they really haven't lost anything with the injuries. Where most other teams would, the Broncos haven't had that issue. So whoever wins this game, I think it's just about got one hand on the premiership. The Storm potentially are the main danger with the Penrith, or potentially the Warriors, but that's where we're at. I think the winner of this game is just about got one hand on the trophy. One of them will be in the grand final, whoever wins it. This week, I believe, will be in the grand final, so we will see. Anyway, that's rugby league. It's going to be a great game of football, so I'm going to say Storm are going to win. Let's go Warriors in an upset. I'm conflicted in the Sharks versus game. You could argue both teams could win. I'm really thinking it's time for Hines to step up with Fanua Blake, so I'm going to go the Sharks. And I have to go the Raiders, but I wouldn't be stunned if the Broncos won. Anyway, that's Barry Charles Footy Show for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.